My sister cut me from her wedding guest list, so I booked a luxury vacation. While I was relaxing by the ocean, her big day fell apart and suddenly everyone needed me. What started as rejection turned into the most satisfying week of my life. A few days later, while I was already gone, my phone started blowing up calls and messages from nearly every family member. I sat there, staring at my screen, rereading that message for what felt like the fifth or sixth time. Hey, just a heads up, we finalized the guest list and had to make some tough decisions. Hope you understand. Tough decisions. Hope you understand. Love you. The words kept echoing over and over like they were stuck in a loop. I wasn't some random second cousin or a family friend they hadn't seen since childhood. I was her brother. And not just in name, I was the one she leaned on every time something in her life went sideways. Heartbreaks, breakdowns, job troubles, you name it, I was there. And now she'd left me off the list like I was nothing more than an oversight. I stared at my phone, a strange, slow ache rising in my chest. I almost laughed because honestly, it felt like this had to be some kind of mistake. Without thinking too hard about it, I called my mom. She picked up on the second ring, chipper as ever. Hey, sweetie. What's going on? I skipped the pleasantries. I just got a message from Rachel. She says the guest list is set and I'm not invited. There was a pause, long enough to confirm what I already suspected. Oh, honey, my mom sighed, dragging the words out in that way she always did when she wanted me to feel like I was being dramatic. It's just a wedding. Just a wedding. Like it was no big deal. I felt something twist hard in my stomach, heat rising up behind my ribs. Are you serious right now? I asked, keeping my voice even, which was a struggle. Mom, I'm her brother. How am I not invited to my own sister's wedding? She made that little dismissive TSK sound like I was a kid throwing a tantrum over dessert. It's not personal, she said. They just had to keep the guest list tight and… Mom, I cut her off. I just looked at Rachel's Instagram. She invited 150 people. Silence. Then came a fake little laugh. Well, you know how these things go. Weddings aren't cheap. Maybe they figured you wouldn't mind sitting this one out. That hit like a good punch. Wouldn't mind? I repeated. Mom, I helped Rachel move twice. When she lost her job, we paid half her rent. And when she was in pieces after her last breakup, I was the one who helped her pull herself together. And now I'm somehow not important enough to show up on her so-called big day? Oh please, don't be so dramatic, my mother replied, letting out another long sigh. It's one day. You're blowing this out of proportion. I gave a short, bitter laugh. Blowing it out of proportion, I said, almost to myself. I could already see the whole thing unfolding, me arguing, her brushing it off, Rachel offering some lukewarm apology later. And I'd be expected to smile, nod, and move on. That was the role I always played. Not this time. Something inside me shifted, snapped even. If I didn't matter enough to be included, then maybe I didn't need to be involved at all. I hung up the phone without another word and started scrolling. If I wasn't going to be at that wedding, then I was going to be somewhere far better. The more I thought about it, the more it burned. I'm not the kind of guy who throws fits or loses his cool over small stuff. I've let plenty slide over the years. Rachel forgot my birthday more than once. Only called when she needed a favor. And our mom always expected me to be the understanding one. Rachel could practically get away with anything. But this? This was something else entirely. It felt deliberate. There was no way I was going to sit around pouting while my sister and the rest of the family played happy wedding without me. If I wasn't important enough to include, I wasn't going to be the one they turned to afterward either. I opened up my laptop and started browsing flights. If Rachel was off having the happiest day of her life, then I was going to make damn sure I had the best week of mine. It didn't take long to figure it out. I booked a 5-star, all-inclusive resort down in the Caribbean. Ocean view suite. Spa access. Private beach. I'd always told myself that kind of trip was too indulgent, too expensive. But not this time. This wasn't just a vacation. It was a message. When the weekend of the wedding rolled around, I was already airborne, sipping champagne in first class. I posted a photo just to make it clear. Legs stretched out, drink in hand, ocean clouds outside the window. Caption, got cut from the guest list, but I think I'll manage. Reactions rolled in fast. A few cousins sent laughing emojis. My aunt, who's probably the only family member with any real sense, commented, good for you. Should have taken me with you. But the best reaction? That came from my mom. She hit me with 3 texts in a row. Mom wants to know where you are. Are you actually skipping your sister's wedding over this? This is petty. Petty. That's what she called it. I didn't even bother arguing. I sent her a picture of the beach instead, bright white sand, turquoise water, sky so blue it didn't seem real. Then I turned off my phone. I wasn't going to let them guilt me. Not this time. For the first time in ages, I was doing something entirely for myself. And honestly, it felt amazing. By the time I touched down in paradise, whatever guilt I'd felt had completely melted away. As soon as I stepped outside the airport, the warm, salty breeze swept over me, filled with the scent of tropical flowers and the sea. A sleek silver SUV was waiting, stocked with cool towels and bottled water in the back seat. Yeah, this was way better than a wedding. As we cruised down the coastline, I couldn't help but reflect on how right I was to do this. Back home, they were probably bustling around, getting ready. My mom making excuses. Rachel laughing with her bridesmaids, not giving me a second thought. But here? Here, I wasn't an afterthought. I was the priority. The resort looked like something from a dream. Towering palms stretched up through the open-air lobby, ocean wind drifting through the space. And the staff? They handed you a cocktail before they even asked for your name. My room was out of this world. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a balcony that looked out over the water, and the softest king-size bed I'd ever seen. I dropped my bags, stepped out onto the balcony, and just stood there, taking it all in. To really top it all off, I snapped a photo of the view from my balcony and captioned it, "When one door closes, another opens, hopefully to a beachside suite with unlimited margaritas." I knew full well that someone in the family would see it, and honestly, that was the goal. Let them get a taste of what it feels like to be left out for once. And believe me, I was just getting started. That first full day on vacation? Absolutely incredible. I kicked off my morning with room service, stacked pancakes, a bowl of fresh fruit, and a cup of coffee so rich and smooth it made every other coffee I'd ever had taste like dirty water. The whole day was mine to shape however I wanted. No obligations. No drama. No urgent calls from my mom. Just me, the ocean breeze, and a schedule built entirely around doing absolutely nothing. By the time the afternoon rolled in, I was stretched out on a sun lounger by the infinity pool, martini in hand, watching the waves drift lazily to shore. Every now and then, I check my phone, not for texts from my family, but to see the reactions piling up on my vacation posts. And man, they were gold. Tyler, my cousin, "Bro, where even are you?" Aunt Denise chimed in with, "Okay, now you're just showing off." Some guy I barely remembered from college dropped, "Next time, take me with you." But then came the notification that really made me grin. "Rachel viewed your post." Oh, now I had her attention. I could picture it perfectly, her in some cramped bridal suite, sipping cheap champagne, scrolling through Instagram and seeing me living it up poolside while she panicked over centerpieces or the weather or whatever brides stress over. Good. I leaned back, took another sip and let the salt air fill my lungs. Enjoy your big day, sis, I thought. Hope it's everything you wanted. Then, right around sunset, things got interesting. My phone started buzzing like crazy. At first, I ignored it. Figured it was just more likes and comments. But then I saw the names: Mom, Rachel, Tyler, even Uncle Mark. Back-to-back calls. One after the other. Dozens of texts flooding in. I raised an eyebrow and finally picked up my phone. The first message was from my mom. "Call me. It's an emergency." A wedding emergency? I rolled my eyes. I sat up a little, wondering if I should even care. Then a text from Tyler popped up. "Dude, you're not gonna believe this." Now that got my attention. I scrolled through the messages and it didn't take long before I realized that fate had just handed me the best wedding present I could have asked for. Rachel's perfect day? Yeah, it went up in flames. I scrolled through a string of texts, each one juicier than the last. My smirk stretched wider with every swipe. "Tyler, bro, you dodged a missile." "Mom, call me right now. This is a family emergency." "Rachel, where are you? I need you." I leaned back in my chair, took a long sip of my cocktail, and kept reading. And then I saw the message that made me snort-laugh right into my drink. According to Cousin Jasmine, the groom just walked out. Walked out of his own wedding. I actually choked on my martini. Curiosity got the best of me, so I shot Tyler a text. "Wait, what do you mean he left?" Tyler replied instantly, "Dude." Total meltdown at the reception. He and Rachel got into it, huge fight. Next thing we know, he straight up walks out. Just dipped. And it didn't end there. Tyler again, then your dad and Uncle Mark started yelling at each other over who's ruining the family's image. Grandma cried. The bar closed early. It's chaos, man. I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, seriously, my sister went out of her way to exclude me, and now? Suddenly, I was the one they all turned to. I could already hear Mom's voice in my head, "You need to fix this." Rachel is heartbroken. Yeah. No. Then came a text from Rachel herself. "Pick up. Please. I need you." Oh. So now I was important. I took a breath, typed out one quick reply. Sorry, kinda tied up enjoying my overreaction. Hope the wedding was a blast. And then? I blocked her number. Blocked my mom too while I was at it. And just to be safe, I blocked Tyler, didn't want him caught in their guilt-tripping crossfire. After that, I tossed the phone aside, flagged down the bartender, and ordered another drink. Back home, they were spiraling. But me? I was in paradise. And for once, I wasn't the one doing the emotional heavy lifting. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of waves gently crashing outside. That ocean breeze carried the scent of saltwater and tropical flowers right through the open balcony doors. I stretched, yawned, and for a blissful moment, I forgot all about the dumpster fire happening back home. Almost. Then I checked my phone. Even with most of them blocked, I had over 20 missed calls from unknown numbers. They were trying everything, voicemails slipping through from every direction. Against my better judgment, I tapped on the first one. Mom's voice, tense and panicked. I don't know what you think you're doing, but this is not the time for one of your tantrums. Your sister is devastated. We need you. This family needs you right now. Delete. Next one. Rachel's crying. I don't get it. Why are you doing this? You're my brother. I need you. Please call me back. Click. Gone. But then came one I had to keep. It was Tyler, whispering like he was hiding in a supply closet. Dude, Mom and Aunt Denise are planning to show up at your apartment when you get back. Just saying. Also, Grandma keeps saying the wedding was cursed 'cause you weren't there. It's hilarious. Now that one I saved. I tossed my phone onto the bed and stepped out onto the balcony just as the sun began to rise, painting the sky gold over the water. I took a deep breath, letting the warmth soak in. Back home, they were scrambling, arguing, damage controlling. But here? I was sipping espresso in a bathrobe, enjoying what was probably the smartest move I'd ever made. And the sweetest part? Now they knew what it felt like to be left out, to be ignored, to be treated like they didn't matter. There was something deeply poetic about it. But I wasn't done just yet. I picked up my phone again, snapped a photo of my breakfast, another round of fluffy pancakes, fresh fruit, and a mimosa that looked like bottled sunshine. I posted it with a caption that read, "Starting my day stress-free. Hope everything's okay back home." Then, just for kicks, I scrolled through my blocked messages, smiled at the long list of missed calls, and ordered another mimosa. I had zero intention of calling anyone back. They could clean up their own disaster. I was on vacation, remember? Around midday, I was stretched out under a private cabana, drink in hand, complete with a little umbrella when my phone buzzed again. This time, it was from Jasmine, my one cousin who actually uses her brain. Her message read, "Okay, I know you're pissed. And honestly, you've got every right to be. But you have to hear what happened after the wedding. Call me. You're gonna love this." I raised an eyebrow. If Jasmine said it was worth hearing, it probably was. She never exaggerated. Against my better judgment, I hit the call button. She picked up on the very first ring. "Oh my God," she said, practically bursting, "you finally answered." I glanced around, ocean in front of me, my feet up, drink perfectly chilled in my palm. "Yeah," I said, settling in. "I'm in a pretty good place to hear whatever insanity you're about to drop." Jasmine gave a breathless little laugh, clearly giddy. "Okay," she started, "so after the groom bailed, Rachel completely lost it. And I don't mean she was just crying. I'm talking full-blown meltdown, screaming, sobbing, throwing things at the wedding party." I couldn't help smirking. Sounds on brand. Jasmine went on, practically buzzing. Everyone was trying to calm her down, and then get this, your mom overheard Aunt Denise whisper that this whole thing could have been avoided. I blinked. "Come again?" "Yeah," she giggled. "Lisa said if he'd been there, this wouldn't have happened." I sat up straighter. "Wait, are they saying that I could have prevented the train wreck? The same people who uninvited me?" "Exactly," Jasmine said, clearly enjoying this. "Lisa was saying how you've always been the one who can calm Rachel down or talk sense into people or fix things when she spirals. Like, if you'd been there, everything would have gone differently." I burst out laughing. "Let me get this straight, they kicked me off the guest list and now I'm the reason it all fell apart?" "Oh, it gets better," Jasmine said, voice gleeful. "Your mom told Lisa she was being ridiculous and then they started arguing. Loudly. In front of everyone. Of course they did. Then Grandma jumps in," she continued, "and says that Rachel brought this whole disaster on herself. That by cutting you out she offended the universe." I nearly snorted my drink. Jasmine was full-on cackling now. She told Rachel, in front of like 40 people, if you'd treated your family better, you wouldn't be standing there alone in your wedding dress. I leaned back, grinning like a fool. That's absolutely poetic. And then Jasmine added, "Your mom tried to reach out to the groom's family to smooth things over. His mother just looked at her and said, 'This is your problem now.'" I had to set my drink down before I spilled it all over myself from laughing. So, I said after catching my breath, what's the deal with Rachel now? Jasmine let out a long sigh. Still crying. Still pointing fingers at everyone but herself. Last I heard, she's trying to salvage the day with some backup plan, but honestly, she's not bouncing back from this. I shook my head, still smiling. You know what the best part is? What? I took a slow sip from my drink, savoring it. I don't care. Jasmine burst into laughter. Honestly? I don't blame you. I just thought you'd appreciate knowing that karma came through this time. Oh, I appreciate it, I said with a satisfied grin. More than you know. Enjoy your trip, she said. And for what it's worth, you did the right thing. We hung up and I sat there for a while, feeling more at peace than I had in years. They wanted a wedding without me. And in the end, that's exactly what they got, a wedding without me and with a complete collapse instead. I picked up my glass and raised it toward the sky, silently toasting to the best decision I'd ever made. Then I powered off my phone, leaned back into my cabana cushions and let the soft ocean breeze carry away whatever scraps of guilt still lingered. I didn't touch my phone for the rest of the day. Instead, I booked myself a sunset cruise, let the sea wind wash over me, and ended the night with the best dinner I'd ever had: steak, wine, candlelight by the shore. While my family scrambled to pick up the shards of their little wedding fiasco, I was living my best life. At one point, a thought crossed my mind: maybe I should feel bad for Rachel. Then I remembered how easily she excluded me. How little hesitation there was when she crossed my name off the list. Yeah, no. I took another sip of wine and let the moment sink in. I took one last photo of the view, ocean stretching into the horizon, sun sinking low, and posted it with a single, simple caption. Zero regrets. With a satisfied grin, I shut my phone off again. Let them stew in it. I was done playing the role of their emotional handyman. The next morning, I woke up feeling lighter than I had in years. No guilt clinging to me. No tension in my chest. No last-minute family drama dumped in my lap like it was my job to fix everything. Just me, the waves rolling gently outside my window, and a full day of uninterrupted peace ahead. I stretched out, cracked my neck, and ordered up some room service. Out of pure curiosity, I decided to turn my phone back on. Yeah, big mistake. Within seconds, the notifications came pouring in. First one? My mom. You need to stop acting like a child and call me. Then Rachel. I can't believe you're doing this to me. You are so selfish. Mom again. This isn't funny. Rachel is heartbroken. Do you even care? Then a message from an unknown number, probably one of my aunts. We need to fix this family before it's too late. I sighed, rolling my eyes so hard it almost hurt. It was kind of impressive, honestly, how quickly they went from pretending I didn't exist to expecting me to swoop in and fix everything. And then one message caught my attention. Jasmine. Okay, I know you're ignoring everyone, but just a heads up, your mom is trying to get the whole family together for some kind of talk when you get back. I let out a short, bitter laugh. Oh, so they just assumed I'd show up like nothing ever happened. Smile, nod, and let them all guilt-trip me into forgetting the entire disaster they created? Yeah, not a chance. I fired off a quick reply. Thanks for the heads up, but I won't be there. Jasmine replied almost instantly. Wait, what do you mean? I typed, I'm extending my trip. They wanted me gone? Cool. I'm taking it a step further, I'm cutting them out entirely. I could practically picture her face reading that, somewhere between shocked and impressed. A moment later, her response came through. Okay, that's iconic. Tell me everything when you get back, whenever that is, LOL. I smiled, set the phone down for a second, and opened my laptop. A few clicks later, it was official. Trip extended. One more full week. Just me, the ocean, and absolutely no family group chats. No awkward family discussions. No Rachel. No guilt. No drama. They never gave me peace, so I went out and made my own. And the best part? There was nothing they could do to stop it. Before heading out to the beach, I sent one final message. Group text. Me, Mom, and Rachel. Oh, so now you want me around? Sorry, too busy enjoying the perks of my overreaction. Good luck cleaning up your own messes. Then, without hesitation, I blocked them both. One last time. I set the phone down, leaned back into my chair, and ordered another drink. Let the sun hit my face, warm and unbothered. No guilt. No stress. No regrets. Just quiet. Just calm. Just peace. And honestly, it was the best decision I've ever made.